So, a lot of you know that I work a lot with relationships, with sexual issues, with love, trauma, things like that, right? So, I get a lot of either couples coming in or individuals coming in, basically talking about how they don't feel connected to their partner or they're having issues in some way. So I shot a video a couple days ago about how communication and connection were the two most common issues that I saw in therapy. And as I've been kind of thinking about this since then, I thought about one thing that I tend to work with people a lot on when they come in with those kind of issues. So a couple come to mind that I've had recently. So one was a man who was coming in and had been married for like 15 years or more, and his wife didn't want to have sex at all anymore. And they had 4 kids, just a kind of the common sort of story that happens a lot. And he didn't know what to do. In the meantime, he developed a fairly significant habit watching porn, that kind of thing. So he was wanting to figure out how to connect with his wife again and build intimacy and build back their sex life and that sort of thing. So that was one thing that came to mind, because that sort of story plays out a lot or comes up a lot. I also have, just as an example, I also have a lot of people come in and say, I just don't feel as connected to them as I used to. I just don't feel as, just the fire is gone or the spark is gone, or they just feel like something is not there that used to be there. And these are both kind of scenarios that are common when we're in relationships for a long time, because things get difficult. We have a lot to do. We have a lot going on. We don't have time or energy, or we're not able to stay in that kind of blind sort of puppy love phase. Like, real life happens, right? And it just happens. It's really common. So what I've been thinking about lately is the solutions, or at least one solution or one thing to start building on in both of these cases, I think, is to start small. Start building back connections small. So when someone comes in and says, my partner doesn't want to have sex with me, I want them to have sex with me, how do I get them to do that? We have to back up a lot, because there's a lot going on. You can't just push that and jump to that. And that's the same thing with feeling not connected to your partner anymore. You don't feel connected to them, so you're not going to automatically just flip a switch and jump back into love and those deep feelings that you used to have. If you could do either of those things easily, you wouldn't be talking to me about this, right? You would have already solved it and moved on, and life would be great. So these are obviously more complex and complicated issues, and they don't have really easy solutions. If they did, again, you would have already fixed them. So my advice here is to start small, start really small, and get rid of your expectations. Now, I know that's hard and it's not gonna happen completely. You're still gonna have expectations, but I want you to consciously put those aside. So if you're going out with your partner and you are trying to have a regular date night, which is something that a lot of couples do and try to get back in their relationship, they try to get back to having a regular date night. If that's what you're doing, then you need to consciously think, what are my expectations for this? And are those reasonable? And are those going to put any more pressure on my relationship? And if they are going to put more pressure on the relationship or on the night or on your partner, then I want you to consciously put those aside. So of course, you want to go into this date night with your partner, and you want it to go well. You want to connect, you want to have fun, you want to enjoy it. And for a lot of people, you probably want sex at some point, right? But that pressure, if there's already issues, builds up defense for the partner. So this guy that I mentioned before, when he would try to set up those date nights with his wife, she felt like that's all he wanted, and her defenses were already up going in because she felt that that's where the pressure was. She had a lot of things going on within herself, so she automatically put up a barrier because that was his expectation, and he was trying to meet that expectation, right? He wasn't trying to just carry out a fun, carefree night with his wife. So when we consciously checked those expectations, that gave her space enough to feel safe with him, to reconnect with him, to basically have them come together in a little bit different way and reconnect now, in this moment, not trying to get back to what it was before, but where are we at now? How do we feel now? Let's address what's going on. And that's what ended up creating enough safety for her to be able to do that and talk through those things that she needed to address that were kind of blocking her ability to lean into being intimate with him. And that really helped there. That also really helps when you're trying to reconnect and get back to old feelings for someone, or just build more feelings for your partner in your relationship, is examining your expectations and trying to check them. So my homework sometimes for couples is to just go out and your only goal is to be present. I just want you to go out with them. I want you to be really present. I want you to try to listen to them, hear what they're saying, and just be there and connect without any other expectations, without any expectations of it going a certain way, or avoiding certain topics, or talking about certain topics, or getting to a certain place, or even I want to have so much fun and enjoy it and have a night out, and even that, just your only goal of the night is to just be present and hear what's going on and just be present in what is. Because often when we're in difficult situations and we've gotten to a kind of a rocky place with somebody, we've lost sight of a lot of things that are happening, and we're not connecting with them. We're not meeting. We're both maybe trying, but we're missing each other, and any effort that comes in isn't working, and maybe it will for a second, and then we're going in different directions again. So we have to find ways to come back together and really come back together. So for that, we need to drop expectations, and we need to start small. So that is my advice for the day. Check your expectations and just enjoy the person. Just try to be really present and see what happens. See if that makes a difference. See what kind of response you get from them when you do that. And if this is a new thing for you, that you haven't really done that in a while, it may take a minute for them to really see that that's genuine and that's real, and that's not, you're not setting them up, or you're not, trying to get somewhere else with that you're really real and genuine about that. So just, try to reiterate that to them and try to get that across as much as you can, and just really try to validate them and be present with them and see what happens, see how that works.